Hi, everybody. Lisa Dublin here, and today we are talking about self sabotage. What is it? Why do we do it? Let's make it unsexy today because we're going to find solutions for it that are going to help us to be more productive in life because that's the whole point. If you're just joining me, thank you for being here. We're doing this nonsense again. Okay, let me just put this on. I have it on, just kind of monitoring everything everywhere else. So wherever you're joining me from, this is just my YouTube challenge. So you absolutely need to subscribe. So have you liked? Like the video, subscribe, and share this video wherever you are so that we can really just get into it. I just find that there are certain phrases and just some things that we just bandy around and we kind of coddle it like like you have a little cup of coffee like I have here, and you just kind of coddle the phrase like it's something you hold dear to you. Self-sabotage seems to be one of those phrases, and my understanding of it is anything that you do intentionally or unintentionally to get in your own way. Anything that you do intentionally or unintentionally to get in your own way. And when you think about your own life, I always like to help you to think about your own self even as we talk. I'll give you some of my examples and let's see what we can do about this nice little phrase we call self sabotage, like it's the best thing in the world and it's something that accompanies us. Like we talk about my sickness and my, no, no, self sabotage is not something that we want to hold on to. Okay. So if you are here today, a couple things, if you're watching from a desktop, there's a little QR code at the top. Please just scan that and then you can just subscribe to the channel. So you no need to be going all over the place and clicking here and there. Just simply put on your camera on your phone and you can just simply get to that URL and it will help you to come to my Basement Chronicles channel where I host not just the live streams but also the podcast is there as well, and all of the other little things that I put on there to help us to win. So that's what I'm about. So let's begin. What are some of the ways that we self-sabotage? I did this presentation a couple days ago, particularly for the Black community. But the thing is, I want to speak to as broad an audience as possible. Some of the things are absolutely just similar. And the first one, the first sign that you might be self sabotaging is when you procrastinate on important things. Like you're busy all day, whole day, okay? But you're not moving the needle. You're not doing the things that would actually give you the best results. I just before I came on, I was just so just a proud mama. Okay. Not for my own kids. I'm proud of those too, but just because one of the speakers in my Find Your Fire program, she just went off to do a keynote in Tobago, and she posted the video of people clearly telling her that she's meant to do this, that clearly you are in your element, you're doing what you're meant to do, that kind of thing. And the reason that I felt so proud was during the last couple months when I've been running the pilot program of Find Your Fire. I realized that a lot of the students, a lot of the people in there, they needed to get out because speakers speak. You guys always hear me say that. Speakers speak. That's how you know you're a speaker, because you're out there speaking. And when I challenge them to go out and to, okay, am I muted? When I challenged them to go out and to get speaking gigs, it resulted in her getting this keynote speech, and look at the result of it. So just kind of force them to get out of the self-sabotage and to stop procrastinating. If you say you're a speaker, go ahead and speak. There's no need to be afraid. If you are a believer, one of the verses I think that kind of counters us from just doing things that are busy. Many times we do it because we are afraid to step out, so we prefer to do the things that seem so much easier. But we know that God has not given us a spirit of fear but of power, love, and a sound mind. When you really think about the elements there, power to do it, love to do it in an attitude that is going to bring, I think, results from a good place, and then a sound mind to be logical and to think of how to do it in a way that just makes sense. It's all possible. I think I have a little bit of understanding of what that verse exactly means, but that is one of the ways you need to check. Are you just simply procrastinating? Are you the person who says you're going to do one thing and then you just buffer? In coaching we call it buffering as well. Buffering is, and you do everything else except that you get to the meat of the matter. You do everything else for that day but get to the most important thing. So Lisa, how do you counter procrastination? Just, well, do like the Nike motto says, just do it. Do it first in the, and I know myself. The comfort zone for me is sitting in front of my computer working on my business. I love what I do. So I can get lost in the graphics and sending email. Oh my goodness. No, but speakers speak, coaches coach. And I always have to remind myself these are not the only parts of the business. Get out there and go network. Get out there and do like the back end of things that you don't really like to do. All of those things. What about you? Where are you buffering? Where are you procrastinating? And isn't that procrastination standing in the way of your productivity? Isn't that procrastination keeping you from achieving more in life? I think we need to sometimes give ourselves a kick in the butt. And if you can't do that or trust yourself to do it, then get other people who are vested in your progress and your welfare to be the ones to hold you accountable. That has worked so well for me in the Find Your Fire group, that the students are keeping each other accountable. By the way, you guys, I have to tell you about a consultation that I had this afternoon. No, this morning actually. So I'm currently accepting new people into the new cohort of Find Your Fire. So I had a consultation with a young lady this morning. She's about 30. This is what she said. Oh my gosh, where did I write it? She said, you know what? I've always been the noisy one. She said, I have always been noisy. From the time I was young, my mom just had trouble keeping me quiet. And my mom is very introverted. So it was just a lot of trouble in the house. She said, I have always been noisy, but I've always known that there was a purpose for it. And I think I need to be in Find Your Fire. Is that you today? Are you that person who has always had that gift of the gab, always had a torrent of words? Oh my goodness, right? You could talk for days. If that is you, perhaps you need to be in a program that appreciates your gift of speaking and teaches you how to use that gift to make an impact and make an income. I'm not saying in the first year you're going to just burn down your bridges and leave your 9 to 5 if you have not already. I'm saying in whatever form of fashion you decide to speak, whether it be a keynote speaker or whether it is as a guest speaker, a facilitator, whether you're going to do the online stuff like I'm doing now, there is a lot of room in the world for people who have this gift and know how to channel it. Okay. Hey, ladies, I was just talking about you. Good afternoon to you. There is room in this world for you, and you need to harness this gift now to not just make an impact, but to have another source of income that is easy for you because you just have the gift. You love speaking and communicating anyway. So if that is you today, can I ask you if you want to? I'm going to put up this QR code, okay? You can book you can book a Find Your Fire consultation call with me. Go book now. Okay, scan this code right now and go book that call with me, and you and I can chat about the program to see if this is right for you, because I do believe that there are many more people than me who are able to turn this gift of speaking into a career, into a side hustle, however you decide to speak. You guys, from speaking can come trainings, courses, From speaking, you can then go on to, speak here and there, go on radio, go on the internet. There are so many possibilities. When you think of communication, you have to just broaden your mind to open it to receive that. It wouldn't just be the traditional going up on the podium, walking to the lectern, opening up your folder, not your phone, and speaking. There's a lot more where that came from. So I believe if you have that gift, or if you are like my prospect this morning who said, I have always been noisy my whole life. I've been noisy. I've always had something to say. If that is you, and when you speak, you stir up things in people, you should be on stage speaking, just like Miss Leonie's discovered, right? Yes, find your fire. So the tagline is turn your voice into a career. So just scan that code, you guys, and book that complimentary call. But anyway, let's go back to talking of ways that we self-sabotage and figure out why and how perhaps we can stop doing it. How else do we self sabotage? When we self sabotage? When things are going well with us. Has that ever happened to you? It happened to me the very first times when I started getting paid for my services. Whereas I'd prepared, yes, I'm worthy of this, all of the things, you guys. Until you get paid and accept getting paid for the things that you offer, it's always going to be like, oh my gosh, like, do I even deserve it? So there was a time when I first started coaching a couple years ago, and when it came to the point to pay, I would hold back from sending the links to my potential clients. And I realized that was a form of self-sabotage. Like, number one, I didn't want to send it, and then they just said, okay, I'm not gonna sign up with you anyway. But more than that, there was something in me that was actually working against me getting paid. That's self sabotage. Check yourself. You will do all the things, all the steps. You will put out the flyers. You will conduct the consultations. At the point of pay, you'll say to people stuff like, oh, you can pay me later. Oh, it's okay. Like, we can settle that. That is self sabotage, you guys. I was listening to a training by Stephen Bartlett, and he was talking about how the transaction is not over until from consultation to having a close on the call. That's how you know that it's done. So don't if you find yourself doing that, it's not that you have a bad relationship with money. That is self sabotage. Okay, stop it. The way that you stop it is you have to first prepare. You absolutely have to prepare your mind and your heart and everything to receive. Walk yourself through when it comes to be talking about compensation, what you're going to say and how you're going to feel in your body when you ask for that compensation and it is given to you. You have to walk yourself through it if you're not accustomed to doing it. But if you find yourself saying stuff like, oh my goodness, no, you can pay me later. No, it's okay. No, that is self sabotage, because you and I know very well the reason that you are in business is not just to make an impact, it is also to make an income. Am I wrong? And I hope this makes sense to you. So I'm saying to us today, check yourself. Check yourself to see if those two things that I've spoken about so far, the first one, procrastinating on important things, and secondly, that hesitation at the point of close, at the point of a big thing happening, like getting paid, like signing the contract, like, I don't know, what else could it be? Going to do the thing. At that point, if you find yourself hesitating at the point when you need to take that pivotal and very strategic action, you are in self sabotage. Get yourself out by walking yourself through the entire process of completing a transaction, completing and executing something, so that you know for sure you'll not be self sabotaging the next time. You just need to prepare. Here's another one. It kind of hinges on what I've said before: over preparing and never launching. How many videos have you made that have never seen the light of day? How many poems have you written that you've never got back to because you never wanted to publish them anyway? How many business plans have you prepared that have never materialize into the business? What's going on, sis? Why are you doing that, my brother? What's going on? That is a form of self sabotage because you are keeping yourself busy. You say, and listen, let us ditch that today. You're not about perfection because you can't get there anyway. Okay. Like this talk about, oh, I just have, I'm a perfectionist. Well, what exactly is that? Like we don't even know what that means. Excuse me, that might just be an excuse for you to be just procrastinating and not doing what you're supposed to. There's a thing that I learned very early from the time I started doing Basement Chronicles under my step. Oh geez, with my horrible makeup. Right? It used to say, done is better than perfect. Can I say that again for all of us in the back? All of us with all those lovely plans, you pregnant with ideas and nothing is coming through? Done is better than perfect. Now, in saying that, you understand that done is better than perfect. It will need a little humility. Because while perhaps you might have been the person who was laughing at somebody's paltry first attempts, not realizing that they needed to unchoke the conveyor belt. They needed to push something through to get through so that they could start the process of developing and making it better. Maybe we might have been those people. So now it's time to stop that because we now will need the grace, for done is better than perfect, because the first time you put out something, it's not going to be perfect. They always say that if your first attempt at something doesn't make you cringe, you perhaps started too late. So done is better than perfect. So stop self-sabotaging and stop tweaking, okay? Stop fixing the pitch and rearranging the website and redoing the URL. Stop it. Just launch. Get out there. Put your foot out. It's not going to be perfect, but the thought that should give you comfort is done is better than perfect. Does that make sense? Let's stop the self-sabotage today. It's not sexy at all. It really isn't. We hold on to it like you're nursing a little coffee. Stop it today. Okay? We have to produce. Yeah, and let me tell you something. Like, what's really on my mind? It's like I'm getting older. How much time do I have? By the grace of God, I expect to live a nice, long, fulfilled life. But the fact is that every single day I get older. So I have to produce. I've got to be strategic. I've got to do more with less. I've got to be laser focused so I'm not like depleting my energy because there's no time. You want to accomplish different things, and that kind of, sensibility, you have to get into the point of stopping the self sabotage, because life is going to pass you by. And then other people who went with done is better than perfect, you will be looking side eyed at them, not realizing you too had the opportunity to begin something, to start somewhere and grow, and you just didn't do it. That will not be your reality. I'm confessing that for you today. Here's another thing. Now, another way we self sabotage? Oh, are you ready for this one? We surround ourselves with people who play small. You know, lately, I have been in circles with people with way more resources than I have at this point. And I've experienced, if I were not strong in my faith and knowing I have nothing missing, nothing broken, and even in spite of that understanding, being out of your comfort zone, it can do a number on you. It's not the people you're accustomed to. It's not the talk you're accustomed to. It's not the way you dress is perhaps different, and they are dressing differently, and you feel out of sorts. And I've come to realize I have to be okay with that. If I'm going to get forward and I'm going to move up, I'm going to have to get into circles that in the initial stages will be uncomfortable, and that is okay. But many of us self sabotage by returning to what is warm and comfy and is a prison to keep and to clip our wings instead of going into spaces and places that will allow us the freedom to be more, because they themselves, we are in an environment where we are more. How about that? How about knowing that if you want to be something you've never been before, you've got to get into environments where you have never been before. Don't self sabotage by running back to what you knew, at least not forever. Because, like sometimes you just want the comfort of what is familiar. Isn't that so? That's okay. But don't stay there. Understand that the more you frequent certain environments, is the more you become like them and the more comfortable it becomes. So don't abort the process before you actually get to that stage of comfort. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay, if you're watching this on the replay, please type replay. So if you're listening to this right now and you're like, oh my goodness, maybe I want to coach with her. Maybe you can. I have QR codes for days. Did I tell you guys? I have lots of QR codes, okay? All right. This one up there is for Basement Chronicles. If you want to be coaching with me, because I do the life coaching one-on-one for, people who need it. If you're that person who's stuck and you want to get unstuck, you're like, okay, let me just have a consultation with Lisa. Here's that code. Just scan this, and my signature program is called How to Get Unstuck. And it's really a program that takes you from where you are to where you want to be. We cannot fix everything unless you want to coach with me for a very long time, which is okay. However, when you come into such a 6 month coaching container, you decide what it is that is most important for you to get unstuck about. And we get to work with systems, accountability, resources to get you there. So you can book a complimentary connection call with me for my How to Get Unstuck program. I've coached many people through it who have gone on to do great things. They've left their countries, they've gotten new jobs, they have learned to advocate for themselves, they have been able to see themselves differently, become more confident. And it's not a crutch. Coaching is not a crutch. You know why? Because it helps you to find within yourself the strength to be who you're supposed to be for the rest of your life. That's what it is. So you build the muscle in coaching, you get the tools on how to handle yourself and life situations, and you go on your way. That's what it is. Nobody should be staying in coaching for, like, I don't know, 5 years or whatever, unless you come and go. I have people who come and go, like they take a break, they come back, that kind of thing. Here's another way. So we surround ourselves with people who play small because that is comfortable. So that was that point. Here's another point about how we self sabotage, and it's perhaps the last one. Maybe I'll have time for one or two more. Okay, we downplay our gifts. Oh, that's nothing. Oh, that old thing. Oh no, I just no, that's nothing. Oh, me, I know me. Why are you calling on me? I'm not good at this. We downplay and we deny our gifts. Why? I love to tell this story about the quarterback who was called to testify in court. Now, this quarterback was known as being very humble, very unassuming, but he really was the best quarterback in that state. So when he was called up to testify, they said to him, will you tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? And he squirmed. Okay, he said, yes, I will. So then the first question that was posed of him by the lawyer was, are you the best quarterback in the state? Guy squirmed, he turned around, he looked uncomfortable, and then he said, yes, I am. So after the trial or his testimony, after he had testified, his friends were very surprised. They said to him, but we never heard you boast before, talk about how good you were as a quarterback. What made you say that? And this guy said, well, they asked me to speak the truth. And here's the thing. How many times are we not speaking the truth about ourselves? We downplay, thinking that is the polite thing to do. Can we just stop it? It is not sexy. It is actually debilitating, because what you say is what you become. So you keep on saying, oh, that old thing, I just know how to do that. Oh, no, no, that's nothing special. No. In the same way, the next point is also self sabotage. And it is that we shy away from feedback because we are afraid to face the truth about ourselves. Also, this point about downplaying our gifts is also very relevant. And we see it all the time, especially women. We don't want to seem better than. We want to dumb down. We want to right size into a container that was never right for us in the first place. You guys know my analogy of having my size 11 feet in size 9 shoes. And that is so uncomfortable because you were never meant to be there in the first place. So my advice is, and I mean, not that I'm just dishing advice like I don't need it, but my name is Lisa Dublin and I want you to win. So that's why I'm here. Please take it in the best of lights. So what I'm saying is, let us not do that anymore. If you're good at something, you don't be arrogant with it. But my goodness, what is wrong with saying I'm good at that? In fact, especially in business as an entrepreneur, you have to be able to be that convincing. And what I've realized is that I'm most convincing when I deeply believe it. Like, I deeply believe I can get you from not being very confident to becoming a confident speaker. I deeply believe I can get you from $0 as a paid speaker to at least your first $2,000. I deeply believe it because I have the strategy. I have it's tried and tested, and I know exactly how to do it. Can I ask you, what can you speak about with that level of confidence and conviction? What can you speak about? You should be able to speak about yourself and your abilities in the truth of the conviction of who you are. Does that make sense? That kind of sounded long and a little winded right there, but you guys get what I'm saying? You absolutely have to be the person who's clear. Okay, I'm not good. Oh, listen, do not ask me to do, I don't know what not to ask me to do. Like, I don't like baking elaborate meals. I could do it, but I like, it's not my best. But I could bake bread. I could do that for you. I could teach you how to speak. I could speak for days. Right? So what's wrong with saying that? Is that arrogant? Does that make you ask of me the question, who do you think you are? No, who do you think you are to deny who you are? That's the question I should be asking you. And that's the question, if you answer it for yourself, it gets you unstuck and gets you walking bravely, courageously, and humbly in your truth of who you are. Why not? Okay, you guys. So I'm going to end here. I think we're right on time, and I have another call in a little bit. But I hope this has helped you. Y'all, let's get serious about life. All of these little shenanigans that make self sabotage, and we bandy those words around like, they're so, like, it's something to be proud of. No, it's not a badge of honor. Let's get rid of it. Let's be truthful about ourselves. And if we go after productivity and be an execution, then there's no place, no room for this whole self sabotage thing. Of course, it's going to come up in our lives. And I believe that the way we counter it is to, one, acknowledge where we are, identify where we are self sabotaging, and then take steps for us to just do different next time. So thank you for joining me. Don't forget, I'm really looking to have a great cohort for this one, for Find Your Fire. So if this is you, if you are looking to make an impact and make an income, then consider speaking. It's a viable, it's a bona fide career choice. And it can be more fulfilling. I imagine for me, it is way more fulfilling than doing a job that you were not meant to do, that you're not genius at. maybe you want to consider speaking. I have one more thing for you, actually. So the way that I got this lady on the call this morning was because she did this test and realized that she answered almost everything with a yes. So she was a fire starter. That's what we call it. So scan this code, you guys, and see whether speaking might be a career path for you. And if you do get the higher numbers, by all means, book a call with me, okay? So that I can just guide you through what it takes to be a speaker, and you can make up your mind as to whether you want to pursue this path that is so fulfilling, exciting, interesting, all of the things. Thank you for joining me. And you know what? I'm going to be on early tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. MST, just because I have a whole day affair tomorrow. So I'm going to be on very early for day 11 of my 31-day challenge on YouTube. So please like, please subscribe, please share this video and enable your notifications. Bye, everybody. Take care.